over to you, Rev Wayne and Audsie. This mic is all yours.
Hey everyone, hey everyone, what's up? This is Reverend Wayne Stills for Miracles Everywhere. It's good to be here, and we're doing Anxiety to Love today. Anxiety to Love, a radical new approach for letting go of fear and finding lasting peace by Zorin Gupta. I'm sorry, Corinne Zupka. Corinne Zupka. It's a wonderful book. It deals with anxiety and how our fears lead to anxiety, and she's trying to get you out of that constant state of anxiety where we find ourselves in that kind of anxiety that gets in the way of your everyday activities and interferes with your social life, interferes with your life in general. And she has uh, she has mantras, she has exercises, and she has a very therapeutic approach. And I would suggest you get the book and read it, and then hang out here, and hopefully we'll help you out with the piece. So with the book. So I'm ready whenever you are to rock and roll.
All
Um,
right. No song today. I do have a song, but we can play it after if you
we'll
want to
play
get
at the
into the
end.
book.
Yeah, play at the end. What the hell?
Ah,
We'll close out
okay.
with it. Uh, so we're getting actually we're getting pretty far in the book, I think, aren't we?
Oh yeah, we're 53% of
Oh,
the way, so we're
oh,
just over
a
half.
little over halfway. 'Cause we do a lot of talking. But
Yeah, we
it's a good
do
way.
sometimes.
It's a good way to do the book, though. You do a little at a time, and then you pontificate on it. So this way you don't just get past anything.
Yeah.
Um, yeah,
You want to start us off today?
sure.
Did I share? I think I
Yeah, you
shared.
did. Yeah, I see
Yeah.
it. I see it. Yeah.
Okay. Thanks.
Deeply questioning our beliefs and fears. Our beliefs and fears. If you would be a real seeker after truth, it is necessary that at least once in your life you doubt, as far as possible, all things. Rene Descartes.
Mhm.
Yeah. The second way that we can become aware of our unconscious fear and guilt is through deeply questioning our beliefs and fears. Luke Sanchez, author of The End of Death, calls the course moving process of questioning our beliefs radical self inquiry. The following exercise is inspired by her work. Write out two-column list. And the first is uncovering a conscious fear. Number one, write out a two-column list. In the first column, list the things that are important to you, such as loved ones, friends, health, your body, belongings, money, situations, and places. Number two, consider the item on the list. Consider each item on the list and ask yourself: if I fully surrender to love and release my own independent desire and sense of control.
Oh, sorry, I'm writing a list. Sorry.
Surrounding this thing, what do I fear happening as a result? So that's the question. In other words, when you think about giving this thing to your inner therapist and trusting only God to completely in God completely and forever, what fears arise? This is almost like a releasing question. You're asking yourself, what fears arise when you imagine God taking over completely?
Mm.
When you give away everything to God, what fears arise? What beliefs arise that are getting in the way of you doing that? Are you beyond? And then can you just let those fears go? Can you just let them? Is there insight there that you say, "Oh, that's kind of silly"?
Well, and it's just a thought too, when you
Yeah,
really keep looking at it. I mean,
it's the thought
they're just thoughts
that you're
that,
you're identifying with.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But because of the emotion, like there's emotion mixed up in it and all this energy that's sort of mixed up and not
Oh yeah. Oh,
passing through, I feel like
well, you put a lot of value onto it, and the value that you hold on to
yeah,
for dear
and that
life.
yeah, and that gets it squishier and squishier, and you get in the quicksand of it. It almost sucks you in.
Yeah, yeah, this is true. And then the key to that is just to drop it.
Yeah.
Just drop it. Just let it go. Just say to yourself, I'm gonna get out of the quicksand. Imagine, and then see yourself getting out of the quicksand. Imagine you're getting
Yeah.
out of it. What else can you do? You're
What are
imagining
you,
you,
and what do you do? You
well,
stay still in the quicksand.
yeah, or I have an idea. Imagine let yourself go into the quicksand.
Yeah. Oh, right. Just
What's gonna happen to you? You're not really in quicksand.
mm, true.
This is all in your head. So just let yourself go into it, bury yourself into the quicksand, and then you come out the other side and you'll be fine. I mean, nothing can hurt you here. It's all in the mind, especially when you're
Yeah.
actually literally imagining it. Oh, my wife the other day we were building a new addition onto my house, so I don't have to go up staircases a lot, you know. And
Okay.
she looked at it. I'm overwhelmed. Oh, it's too big. I'm overwhelmed. So I said, let yourself be overwhelmed.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let it be there. Let it bury you. Fight it.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
true.
it is very big. It's very big, and you feel overwhelmed. So what? What do you expect? Not to be overwhelmed at times. This is a huge addition to the house, and
I did it dissipate for her when you said that? Because
yeah,
to
because
me, a little.
yeah, because she said, I know my thoughts are not rational.
Yeah.
She
Yeah.
that insight kind of came to her, and I mean,
Yeah.
she goes, I know they're not rational.
Yeah.
I said, oh, good, good. If you know that, then that's good.
Yeah.
Then I stopped giving her advice. She was like,
Yeah.
she was like too much advice, you know.
Yeah. Not too much.
You
Just a
know, so
little bit.
right, just
Sprinklings.
tad of it, just tweak it, a little tweak of advice. But yeah, so that's one way to do it. To kind of ask yourself the question: Can I allow myself to just sink into the quicksand? And you see how
Mhm.
harmless it really is, and then you can get then you say, "Can I allow myself to come out of the quicksand?" And then you say, "Go back in, go out, in, out, in, out, in." You realize it's in your mind. You're putting the
Mm.
quicksand there.
Wow.
I tell my
Yeah.
kids that. I say, "Okay, when they're upset about something, I say, all right." They're really young, and the boogeyman was coming, or something. I make the boogeyman brown, make it blue, make it yellow, make it
Mm.
small.
Yeah.
Now you see, you're in charge. I tell you, it's your mind. You're in charge of that picture.
Right.
And they never forgot that. They said
Wow.
pictures in their mind and the thoughts in their mind are theirs. They put it in there in the
Right.
first
Yeah.
place.
Wow.
So to be
Mm.
completely honest, you are allowing yourself to articulate any unconscious fear. If something comes up, it's the fear of sacrifice. We did that, didn't we? No, in other words, when you think about giving the thing to your inner therapist and trusting only God completely and forever, and what fears arise? So you're asking yourself, what fears get in the way? What anxiety are you experiencing that is making you say, I can't give it up to God.
Mm.
I can't give up to love. I can't be compassionate for that person. I'll lose something. You are allowing yourself to articulate any unconscious fear. If something comes up, such as fear of sacrifice, loss, change,
Yeah.
right down,
Shame.
yeah, shame, guilt,
Shame
right,
of not being good enough to deserve God's love.
you're not worthy. So as you're a joke, you put on a good show. What do they call the imposter syndrome?
Yeah.
You ever heard of that? The imposter syndrome.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
You
Oh,
know,
yeah.
you think so find out that you're lying about yourself. Write it down in the second column next to the corresponding item in the first column.
Mm.
Go down your list of fears and concerns one at a time, and take your time. Invite your inner therapist, that's the Holy Spirit, to look at those fears with you. You might say, inner therapist, I admit that I have this fear in my mind. I'm willing to give it to you for reinterpretation. I love that. I want the miracle. Miracle is a gift from God. A shift in perception instead of the fear. So you're asking for you're giving these current situations that you're in, or the person you're having, and your situation always do it with people. Remember that. So you're dealing with people all the time. There's no situations that don't have people in it. So
Hmm.
you're dealing with people all the time, and the people that you're dealing with, You're giving up to a part of your mind that interprets things differently. We'll reinterpret the entire situation. And since everything's in your mind, you have the power to interpret to change your experience completely.
Yeah. Well,
Just
just
like
even I love that whole bit about the quicksand. Like I never thought of actually going into it and then like you said, moving up and down and playing with the image. I
yeah,
know
but
you've said it before, but it just is landing different, or you said it in a different way, or somehow it's hitting home here.
oh, good. Well, that's good. Yeah. Well,
Yeah, it is
so,
good.
and and if you think about it, everything around you is images in your mind.
Yeah, everything is.
So you should be able to put everything the same way as you do that of the quicksand. You should be able to control everything. I mean, if we're omniscient and we're all powerful, so you should be able to put everything that you do, control the colors of everything, and move
Mm,
everything up and down. I mean, it says we're probably doing that on some level, and we don't even know it, but everyone's doing it.
yeah, right, right.
We're all like the Q from Star Trek. We all are doing this. We're all doing
Yeah.
this. We have no idea because we're all doing it at the same time. We're
Yeah.
all massive, massive, massive creators.
Mm, mm.
All right, so
Yeah. I want the miracle, a shift in perception
yeah,
instead of the fear.
yeah. So, the
That's a good
invitation.
one. I
Well,
like that.
put your shift on, put your attention on the other person.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. Yes. You want to read?
Oh, you finish it up.
All right. Rest and trust that you have begun the process of undoing each fear. You're undoing each fear. If you find a lack of trust arising, be willing to look at that lack of trust with your inner therapist too. So this is part of the undoing. It could be difficult. It might be difficult. It might not be.
Mm,
It's not as difficult as you think. Because fear is the image. It's like the image is in the emotion, and fear blocks the insights. So you don't have to look into it too much. You'll let the fear go, and the fear will leave you the image without all the charge in it, without all the negativity in it, and you can just look at it and see what's there, and you have all the insights you need. And then it will just then the image has no more use and it dissipates. And it goes exactly where all dreams go, nothingness. Your
and
dreams
it
at night when
doesn't
you
affect you again. If it
yeah,
comes up, there's no effect. If there is, it's a tickle or a laugh or a
exactly.
chuckle it's not, it
Uh,
doesn't touch that
right.
jaded part. It's no longer
It's, it's, it's,
stabbing whatever that is that
just
stabs, gets stabbed.
it's part of my picture album.
Yeah.
It's just there to look at for nostalgic reasons.
Mm.
And it's there to amuse me, not to be hurt by. The exercise is important because it shows us not only that we lack trust in God and love, but also how we may unconsciously associate God with love with fear, or believe that God is something separate from us. As we become aware of our unconscious fear of love, we can take it to our inner therapist and ask for the miracle instead. Through self-questioning in this exercise, I have become aware of the following core beliefs. See if
Mm.
any of them ring true for you.
Okay.
I am terrified of love of God because I'm afraid I will lose my sense of being me.
Mhm.
That's what I said. Remember I said that I had the fear of healing?
Yeah, yeah,
That's exactly what happened to me.
that happened. Yeah,
I said, what does that mean? I'm going to heal.
yeah, yeah.
I had this idea that I was be in some cult and I'd be passing out pamphlets in the airport, yeah, or I had to join some club. And by the time I was thinking like that, I was no longer in that place.
Hmm. Yeah, it's
I
gone.
was thinking too much. Well, I'm afraid of releasing control, which shows me I don't trust God. Yep, absolutely. I was there. I believe that God is something outside of me, and that God's will is something separate from my own. Yes, I believe that God might take things away from me, which shows me that I fear God. I would rather stay in control of myself. When I had that experience, seriously, the whole reason why I was scared, I felt like God wanted me to leave everything I knew, everything I believed in, into a complete unknown.
Yeah, yeah.
And I didn't want to do that. I basically, what she says here, I did not trust God.
Wait. Yeah.
I said, no, 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 no.
No, no. Yeah. Hmm.
By peeling away the layers of of the onion, we progressively uncover and heal all the mistaken thoughts our ego has made until all that's left is our awareness of love. The ego is terrified of the awareness of love, though because it points to the ego as a lack of reality. You know, when I say the awareness of love, I like to think of it this way. I like to think of it the awareness of the, sharing, of forgiving everyone, of forgiving of forgiving others. You know, and it's not of accepting others, of experiencing inner peace and sharing. It's not so much of having affection for everybody. You know, there's going to be times when the affection's not there, when the feeling, you know, it's the contentment that's there. It's the reality of happiness and joy. And compassion is there. Forgiveness is there. Whether you feel it or not, you know it's there. And it sort of just sits in, it sits as part of reality. It's there no matter what. I told myself that a long time ago. That the happiness is here no matter what.
Yeah. Yeah.
It doesn't make a difference if I feel it or not. You know, I don't have to feel it. I don't have to feel it at all. Happiness is reality.
Hmm.
You know, and so awareness of love, the awareness of love, that's it's not the awareness of a feeling passion or feeling affection. That's so great. I mean, I love feeling love for people. But unconditional love is that love that's here whether you feel it or not. And if you see it that way, suddenly you feel you experience love suddenly.
Hmm.
You realize there's a love there that has nothing to do with your nervous system.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, it's so much bigger than that. That's unconditional love. You
Hmm.
just let it flow as you almost. You dissolve into it.
Yes.
It points to the
Hmm.
ego's lack of reality. Yeah, it dissolves the ego completely. And forgiveness is the way to get there. Because if you ever forget, and you look at people exactly where they are in the present moment, where everything is, and no one's ever left. You never left the present moment. You can't no way to get out of it now. All right, shut up now.
No way to get out of the now. That's awesome.
There's the way. Try.
That's good.
See if you can do it.
Yeah, I'll try. I'll give it a try and I'll report back. All right, I'll go here. By peeling away the layers of the onion, we progressively uncover and heal all the mistaken thoughts our ego has made until all that's left is our awareness of love. The ego is terrified of the awareness of love, though, because it points to the ego's lack of reality, which is really what you were just saying.
Yeah, we just read that.
Oh, is that why?
Yeah, yeah. I was
Oh, yeah, right. The good news. Hey, good news is that we don't hold a multitude of unconscious beliefs that need healing. There is really only one, the belief that we are separate from God. And the answer to this false belief was given to our minds the instant we thought of it. We just haven't accepted it yet. We never left our source. In this very moment, we are safe at home.
basically what she's saying is that if you want healing, you
Mm.
have to change your perception on death and time.
Mm.
That's what you have to do. And the false belief given to our minds, there's only one belief, we're not separate from God. We're not separate from the eternal one,
Mm-hmm.
from
Mm-hmm.
the timeless one, from the infinite one. We're not separate from that at all. And so you have to change your perspective completely. That's a gift. That's a miracle. Change your perspective completely. Rewire your brain
Yeah.
and see things totally differently. And as the course says, change your perspective on time completely. Realize that time is happening simultaneously, beginning, middle, and end, and you are everywhere at once.
Yeah.
And so the time is time is not, there's no real movement at all.
Mm.
We never left our source since the very moment we are actually safe at home.
Hmm.
So we have to connect. We connect. We connect, and the for places otherwise. Yeah, and that's the only thing. The only thing is that connection. That's it.
I just had the image of Dorothy tapping her red shoes. There's no
Oh yeah.
place like home. There's no place like home. There's
Oh
no
yeah.
place like home.
Yeah.
I just saw that flash.
We're all following the yellow brick road.
Hmm.
And we're all following the yellow brick road. Yeah, and it's okay because the world is topsy turvy. I mean, that's how we made the world be topsy turvy. You know, it was about giving and receiving. And if you want joy, if we want to give out love, and we interpret the world in a way that's loving and caring, we have to have love. You can't give love if you don't have it. So you have to be around people and give them love, and they give you love, and you giving and receiving, and then you have love, and you're around love.
Mm.
You know, people who know that it's not about the feelings they have. It's about what's real. I get up in the morning and I don't sit there and say, I don't feel love today. I don't feel happy. I don't feel happy right now. So therefore, happiness doesn't exist for me.
Yeah. Right.
I get up in the morning. I say, I'm happy. I know, but happiness is here. God's here. Jesus is here. I don't care if I don't feel. I don't feel it. I'll say, God, good morning. And so very often I feel stupid.
Yeah.
I don't care. I'll just say, yeah, thanks for waking me up. Thanks for a good day in advance. And I'll so talk to you later.
Yeah. Talk to you
It's
later.
very, very, very casual because it helps me connect with them.
Yeah.
You know, my feelings are irrelevant. I mean, they're not really irrelevant. I like to acknowledge what they are and experience them, but they're irrelevant to the extent that they have nothing to do with the reality of the truth that of God being there imminently.
Mm. Mm. Yeah.
So that's
Wow.
why we are really, that's where we are. That is who we are. We are that inner void, the
Mm.
divine void, the static.
Mm.
Right.
Wow. Mm. Nice space. Wow.
That's what
Yeah.
we are.
We also don't have to follow fear through all its complexities, spending countless hours analyzing our anxieties and phobias. It is not necessary to follow fear through all the circuitous routes,
Yeah.
routes by
Yeah.
which it burrows underground and hides in darkness to emerge in forms quite different from what it is. Yet it is necessary to examine each one as long as you would retain the principle that governs all of them. When you are willing to regard them not as separate, but as different manifestations of the same idea and one you do not want, they go together. That's from the text, chapter 15.
Yeah. It's when you start seeing everything is the same.
Yeah.
When you see everything is a variation of a symbol of separation.
Yeah, that's what I noticed. I really noticed that with just getting things in the world. Like really quickly, I noticed that
Yeah.
that was not where happiness
No, no.
was at all. It was almost like I didn't want to get things because there would ineffably be this turnaround of this just 180 repulsion of the mind. It's crazy. It's absolute insanity in there.
Yeah,
Not
well,
anymore. I'm not looking in the insane stuff anymore. I'm handing it over. Oof, handing that over. Take it.
yeah, yeah. Well, yeah, the idea of everything being the same enables you to see everything in terms of the oneness.
Hmm.
Everything in terms of, and it's easier to let go of everything. So you can let go of the desire for things, the desire for
Yeah.
stuff, as something that will help you, because let go of the desire for self-help, let go of the desire for abundance. That doesn't mean you'll have it or you won't get it, but that's irrelevant. You
Mhm.
don't need it. You don't need it for confidence. You don't need to look at all the books that tell you how to be confident, that tell you how to be happy, because you have the Spirit of God in you. And that's a real being. It's not as if the Spirit of God is just a word that you use, an idea that you experience, because it's a concept and blah, 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 blah. No, God's real. God is real. He's aware of himself and he's in us. You build a relationship with God, and God can help you. God can teach you everything you need to know. And you don't need to go anywhere else but within. So every time now something happens to me, I just say, I don't care. I'm letting that go. I got God inside.
Yeah. Got God on my
My
side.
relationship with, yeah, so I fight with somebody, I don't care.
We could give
I,
a we could give out those business cards. God, here's my
yeah, that's right.
attorney.
Yes, from that movie, right?
Yeah. Oh God.
Oh God, yeah. But yeah, so I just don't care. Why should we care? I'm in a rude
Mm,
way. I'm in a rude way. But if you let go of everything, let go of your job, let go of your family, let go of everyone and everything. And all that really means is that you're not attached to it to such a degree that you depend on them for your happiness.
mhm, mhm.
You depend on happiness for happiness.
Yeah.
And happiness, you depend on the spirit, who you really are. And that in the end, that's the infinite one within.
Yes.
And that he is a real being, and you get a relationship with him, and he will have a relationship with you, and you'll just be in the deepest amount of pleasure and bliss.
Mhm,
And I'm that now in the last week or so with the pain, or a few days, with the pain was it's worse and better, worse and better, worse and better. And I realize now that this pain is it's not really just the absence of pleasure. It's the absence of peace. It's not real. It's just feelings. They're feeling based. The reality is pleasure. The reality is peace. The reality is contentment. That's the reality. And I keep telling myself that now. Tell myself that now. Tell myself I'm actually not here. No pain. I'm hidden in Christ with God.
That's beautiful, Red Wayne. Mm,
Uh,
awesome. Awesome.
we also,
Hmm. Sorry. We also don't have to follow fear through, I think. So
yeah.
we believe that we are and want to be separate from God. All our fears can be traced back to this core belief, and all our fear can be instantly undone if this belief is healed. We can't intellectually heal the unconscious guilt we carry until we allow it to come to the surface by working through the process of undoing and slowly learn to meet the conditions of peace. Healing can happen in an instant, for it is already done.
Right there.
Nice.
Healing, yeah. A snap of the finger, right?
Yeah, snap of a finger. Yeah, nice. Mind straightening mantras. There is no guilt in me. There is no guilt in others. The belief that I have, the belief that I still have problems is my only problem. In truth, I am already perfect. I just haven't accepted that yet. I choose to heal. I choose to heal. There you go. I choose to heal. I choose healing. I choose wellness. Part of my mind has not forgotten the truth of what I really am. I'm willing to get to know this part of my mind again. What I focus on grows. If I focus on fear, my awareness of it grows. If I focus on love, my awareness of it grows. I choose to focus on love through my inner therapist. Like you said, Rev Wayne, getting up in the morning, happiness is here.
Yep, happiness is here.
I love that.
You can ask yourself what fears come up, what emotions come up that get in the way, what resistance comes up, that gets in that comes up that gets in the way of your ability of your focus on love. And then and see what's there, and say, can you forgive that? Forgive yourself also. Forgive yourself for that. Can you let it go? These mantras are great, and you can dig into them by messing with them a little bit, tweaking them. You know, what I focus on grows. I choose to heal. You know, can you ask yourself, what 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 would I feel like if I really could choose to heal and just snap at a finger and I was healed? What would I feel like if I was just if I could choose to heal like that and I'd be healed? But we read that and we say, all right, I choose to heal, and I put my head, but we don't really snap our fingers and we're healed. You know, it'd be kind of cool though, right? So how would I feel if I chose if I could choose to heal and was healed? I'd be so happy.
Yeah.
I mean, if I was suddenly healed, if I could snap my fingers and do what I should be able to do, I'd be like, I'd be like, yo, Lisa.
Cartwheels. I see you
Yeah,
cartwheeling.
yeah, exactly. You know, so that's one of the ways to do this. Ask yourself, how would I feel if this was true? How would I feel if I was if I focused on the good stuff, so the good stuff grew, and I let go of focusing on the fears and the fear, so that the fear didn't grow. How
Yeah.
would I feel if what I focused on grew and the good stuff grew? I focused on love and the awareness of that grew. How would I feel if I only focused on love? If I was how would I feel if I was only focused on love all the time?
Love, love, love.
How would you feel? And if you find yourself feeling negative, fine, you feel that. Let that go. And then you live with a certain type of feeling, a certain type of insight. You get a connection to love through the inner therapist.
If I'm not at peace, something's gone wrong in my wiring here. If I'm not content, happy, at peace, there's some miscommunication. I'm believing something that isn't true all the
Yeah,
time,
yeah.
always.
Well, yeah, because inner peace is it's acceptance. That's the unconditional love expressing itself. You
Mm,
accept people for who they are. You accept somebody for who they are. You know, you share inner peace. Your inner peace. You share that inner. You send that outwards as love. So I love hanging out with Audsie because she shares her peace with me. She shares her love with me. She shares her goodness with me. That's love.
mm,
That's a miracle. And we come into this room, and what do? We go from fear to love. Whatever terror we have at home, whatever fears we're going through at home, we
yeah.
just we rid ourselves of that. And we come in here and we reinterpret everything, and we're in our spiritual gym.
Spiritual
Yeah,
gym.
yeah, we're working out here, man, and we're changing our mind, and we're hoping we can take it out of this and take it to the streets. That's what we're hoping.
I like that.
Yeah.
Mm. Yeah, I love that. So
So,
yeah, that leads into the journal prompts nicely, how you were reworking the mantras and that you could
it
do
was
some of those.
yes, right
Well,
there.
what am I afraid to heal? What would life look like without my problems, like you were doing? What would it be like? That's perfect,
I just
Reverend.
shut up and let her do
No, no, it's perfect. I love it. Great. Oh, there we go. Step 10. All right. Do you want to get into step
No,
10?
yeah, you pretty, you were better.
Uh, Step 10, don't fight yourself. Be a happy learner. I've always been a good student and a bit of a perfectionist. I love getting A's in school. So, as a course student, I wanted to aim for the A. When I struggled with lessons and principles, I decided I was not getting an A. I'd wail, I'm failing the course. The loving voices of my family reminded me, you're not failing the course, you're doing the course. And the course itself tells us from text chapter 30, if you find resistance strong and dedication weak, you are not ready. Do not fight yourself.
It's nice.
Isn't that nice?
Yeah.
Of course, the mind wants to say, well, why am I not ready? Blah, blah, blah,
Yeah.
blah.
Well, yeah, there's a rush, basically.
Yeah.
You,
You can't fit the, what is it? You can't fit the square peg into the round hole or something.
exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You take the course eventually. It was a required course. It's required. I mean, some fashion. You see something. You will experience the course in some way. Everyone's coming in eventually. Everyone's coming home. So there's no rush though. If you don't want to, you're not ready, you're not ready.
Yeah. Just not ready, not able to, for some reason, unknown to us, unknown to anything, it just isn't the time to unfold. The the mustard seed is not ready to
Right.
out yet. It doesn't, it needs a little more
Time, time.
germination time, I
Right.
guess.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. So
Okay.
you're not ready. Don't fight yourself. When struggling leads you to think you should be anywhere other than where you are, the ego is joining the party again. The party. No one wants to get tapped.
No one's happy.
I like that.
Everyone say the part. No one wants to get tapped. You ready here?
If you have thoughts like I should be further along with this than I am, I should be peaceful, or I should be getting this by now, you can recognize these as ego judgments. Step back from them and do the most loving thing you can do for yourself. Allow yourself to be exactly where you are.
That's right. If you do that, you're way ahead of the game.
Wow.
Just be where you are with somebody, and then put your attention on the person you're talking to. Be where you are, and the person he gets your full attention. That person will be so grateful.
Mm,
That person will remember you.
mm,
But that person, you give that person. Well, that's love. You're loving that person.
mm.
You're putting your attention on that person. You're saying you are important enough to actually be to really listen to you. I mean, to care about what you're saying, to care about your words, even if I don't know you. I'm gonna listen to you, and I'm gonna accept you for who you are, whatever you're saying. But I want to put acceptance out there, and this is a great place to be right here. That's love.
See, I'm gather.
Yeah,
That's
gather.
love.
It is.
I see Regis came in. Do you got anything to share, Regis? No, you're good. Oh, nice to
Okay.
see your smiling face.
Yes, yes. So, okay, so what's next?
We can't speed up the lessons, skip past them, or ignore them. Darn it, I want to just, not pass. I don't want to collect $200 when I pass go. I'll just go to jail. Like, come on, man. The only way is through them. For
Yep.
instance, for years, I tried to hand over the difficulty I felt in speaking up to my father. I didn't want to have any awkward confrontations or to exert the effort to address my feelings with him. I often tried to surrender this challenge with my dad directly to my inner therapist, but nothing changed. The pattern of fear surfaced over and over. It turned out that I needed to learn how to speak up to my dad before I could truly begin to see our relationship differently and truly express love for him. I needed to work some things out on this earthly level. I realized that I tried to take a spiritual bypass around this situation rather than do the difficult work of learning how to speak to my dad face to face. Well, I have to say, I can feel this already as an example of just being a parent. The first time I was really just trying to lay out a boundary because I was trying to be this parent. It was so difficult for me, but it was something that was necessary for me to learn on this earthly plane.
Yep, absolutely. I mean,
I,
the lessons learned as parents is unbelievable.
yeah,
Yeah.
I was so busy trying not to, to to put myself in this parent role that I wasn't even parenting. Like I wasn't even guiding. I was just sort of like, and
Yeah.
like this. So that's
Yeah.
really good to hear this. Like, yeah, sometimes you
Yeah.
got to learn to your voice, your
I,
own
I, I
voice.
used to tell my daughter, I used to tell my daughter, my father always used to say to me, I'm not your friend, I'm your father. So I said to my daughter, I'm your friend and your father.
Yes.
And but I learned that you have to be the father sometimes, not that friend. And
Yeah.
so because I was more the friend than the father, I should say, which is that's turned out okay now because she's older, but
Mhm.
it was, I was more their friend than anything else. But that which was okay. It was better than being just this authoritarian and strict, who was more like my father was. So my father used to say to me, he'd say, "I'd rather screw up parenting you by doing too much and too little."
Yeah. Too much. Yeah.
That
Yeah.
was his theory. I said, well, you did perfect. You did too much.
Yeah. All right. Reach us his hands up.
Oh, good. What's
Good.
up?
All right, thanks, Ozzy and Wayne. Yeah, Ozzy, what you were saying is, in reading is so important. We've been talking about that in our house here about um, boundaries and spiritual bypassing. It's like, and I won't even say A Course in Miracles. I think people we can do it with any spiritual teaching. Uh, there's just some things in life. It's our role to address, you know, and we'll try to say, well, I'm just going to pray about it. Or if we're Course in Miracles students, we're just going to go within, or we're going to, uh, do whatever we think the lesson or the day is and not address the situation. And like you said, it's finding our voice. And we've been talking about that in our house here because there are just some things that really just has to do with setting healthy boundaries and finding your voice, as you so eloquently said, getting your voice, knowing your voice, knowing your yeses, and also knowing your no's. It's just we can't spiritually, like you say, if you're raising a kid, they don't want you to hold their hand at the mall. They want to just run off, and they don't know that if they take 10 steps, they'll be lost, and they'll look up and see a sea of adults and won't know where they are. So it's just, and even as adults, we're learning on our jobs and our corporations, uh, about it's just not, oh, well, just find the peace, go within. No, there are some things on that job you got to address. You got to sit down and have a meeting. You gotta, you know, you you know, it's like, like I was in a situation where I was promised weekends off. That was part of the agreement. And then the company reneged on the agreement. Well, I can just go within and find the peace and just go on and work weekends. No, let's look, we need to talk. I was promised this. you know, it's so it's just that um you really struck a nerve when when you read that, talking about, we spiritual bypass, and we don't set boundaries, and we don't uh we got to learn our no voice. Course in Miracles students, we're great and we just want to say yes to everything. If we just want to agree with everything, say yes to everything, and we don't know our no voice. And there's a time to be comfortable with our no voice, and to not try to now take a spiritual principle. There's an opportunity where the right thing or the correct thing to do is to say no, or to whatever type of situation it is, and not necessarily the word no, but it's a form of no. And so instead of, we don't know our no voice, so now we want to go and find a spiritual principle and throw ourselves into that to avoid having to just say no. You know? Thanks.
Yeah, well, one of the things you said that I thought, uh, the practicality of the course, and the idea that we're in a gym, and that when you're here, you have a certain you have a certain we have a certain loftiness, a certain, we're raised up to a certain level, and we get out there, and then something comes up, and we kind of we kind of fall back on sort of we kind of it's not, we don't use it practically. We we fall back on, oh, it's just a dream, and so what, and I'm not gonna fight it. I'm gonna let this go, and he's not real anyway, so who cares? And yeah, and so it's instead of saying, you know what, I'm going to deal with this guy. He's a dream, but I'm not waking up anytime soon, so I have to deal with this person on the level, the context that I'm in. Sharon, so Sharon, yeah, go ahead.
I just love this teaching because it's thorough. I mean, what Regis just said before is that's one of my issues. Setting boundaries with my children was always so difficult because I always liked when they were happy and not sad. And it's not necessary, and it's really about being liked. I had an issue around that. I wanted them to like their mother. So I do believe that why I love her work is because she deals with the psychology of the mind, and that is so important in this process. And I am taking her course now, which is the Claire's. She has it running for a couple months, Corinne. But I feel like, for me anyway, I needed a lot more psychology because that's my love first. And see, the course is a psycho-spiritual book, but sometimes other students don't get into the psychology of the mind, and that's the only part of us that we have to heal. Other than that, we're perfect. So I just love what you're sharing, Red Wayne and Audsie, because it's so great. This is a book that I started too, and I've been doing it in my spare time with actually writing things out. Because sometimes it's good to put pen to the paper. It just
Oh yeah,
somehow, and I don't even know how that works, but I just want to thank you all. Thanks.
absolutely. Yeah, it's been great. It's a great book. What course is it? Is it a book? Is that what you
She
said?
has this new course that you have to, it's just about the clairs. So it's all about the clairs, like the chakras. And
Oh,
so
I see,
what
I
she
see, I
and
see.
Yeah, and
it's
the Korean,
about clairvoyance,
right.
clairaudience, and we got
Uh,
all those extra sensory
so
perception.
what we were talking about yesterday, psychic abilities, psychic abilities in the chapter we were talking about yesterday,
Yeah.
right?
I kind of like, I feel like there's that teacher Amy, that she's a psychologist. I just think it's helpful to have that background because I've been in groups where the teacher wasn't real psychological. And that's the only part of us that really has to, be honest with ourselves. Because other than that, what
Well,
is the Holy Spirit?
that's
You
Ken
know?
was very good. Ken was very good at that also. He was very,
Ken was great at that. I see it on
yeah,
him today. That's why I'm attracted to him because I love
yeah.
when you just don't dismiss it, because really if it's my dream, then why do I care what anyone thinks about my teaching? That's what came to me.
Oh, well, this is for course students. That's great.
We're
Yeah,
here.
because I've done two or three things on the manual psychic chapter, and so maybe that's what she's investigated. I'm gonna check out this book. Now, so of
Yeah.
course, is it through her, or you just bought the book and do it on your own?
The course is through her.
Oh, through her. Oh,
So
I
yeah,
see.
if you're
The
on her
course
email
is through,
list,
yeah, it's 127 a month. And I'm not saying it's for everybody, but I have been with other spiritual, we're all teachers. I don't consider Corinne any more advanced than anybody on here, but I love her approach because she is a psychologist. And
Yeah,
what she's doing in this course is just sharing with us, like, I mean, she's bold enough to say she's in trauma therapy again because she's very sensitive and she takes on things, energy of others. So, just her authenticity and just the way she is about the openness. Because, a lot of times I'd be in a group where they'd say, well, just listen to the Holy Spirit. Well, yeah, that's what we all want to do. But if we don't hear it clearly,
right.
it can cause, us to feel like a failure.
Yeah,
So, I mean,
Mm.
no,
yes,
she's it's very clear, and gives you the opportunity to experience the inner therapist. And the therapist is a return for it, but it's more specific than the Holy Spirit.
Mm.
yeah, I don't know. I think that she's rare because of, like, she's not looking to be the big teacher on the block. She's just an authentic, lovely lady, you
Yeah,
know.
yeah.
And I love this book.
I'm looking
And
for this
she
man.
loves chickens and birds.
Yeah, that's what she doesn't have children. She has
Yay.
chickens. She's
She's cheap,
different.
really?
Yeah,
That's
really,
funny.
really,
That's funny. She has chickens and
really.
birds.
Chicken's not going
Yeah.
to give you much trouble as a child. So there you go. I guess, but I just love her. I think she's
Yeah.
great.
Thank you.
All right, cool. All right, we have 5 minutes. You want to play a song?
Yeah, I'll play the song and we'll just bookmark here.
Yeah. All right. Well,
We'll switch that
everyone,
up.
thanks so much for being here. Thanks
Thank
for
you. Thank
participating.
you.
Yeah, this is great. It's great once again. There's miracles everywhere, and it's an absolute pleasure. This Thursday, hopefully, we'll be at ACIM Lounge. We'll be showing it at the Twilight Zone. Similar to last week's message, slightly different, but it'll be a fun time. So come by if you can. It's 12:30 to 2. 12:30.
Okay.
All right. So here we go.
Turns out I'm not afraid of the dark. I'm afraid of the light. It turns out I'm not afraid of fear. Oh, I'm afraid of love. Lead the way and guide me home, 'cause I don't know which way to go. Lead the way for me. prema rupaya namaha aham prema. It turns out you were waiting for me to say there has to be a better way. It turns out that this is the day. So please show me a better way. Light the path in front of me so I can clearly see. Lead the way for me. Lead the way for me. Parama prema rupaya namaha. Parama prema rupaya namaha. For me. Lead the way for me. Turns out there is nothing to fear. Oh, it was all just a dream. It turns out my vision was unclear, and nothing was as it seemed. Finally, now I know that I have never left my home. Lead the way for me. Lead the way for me. Parama prema rupaya namaha. Parama prema rupaya namaha. Lead the way for me.
Thank you, Audsie. That was beautiful, Audsie. Really nice song. She's great. I like Netta Bones. She's unbelievable. All her songs, every song she does. So thanks. Really, thank you so much. Really. Okay, so Nothing in the Dark is the name of the song. That's the Twilight Zone. So Robert Redford, and it's a woman sitting there. They're tearing her down their house. She doesn't want to be. She doesn't want to. She's afraid of death, and that's what the show's about. It's a half hour long, so come by and we'll talk about it. How it relates to Course in Miracles, because I think it does. I think Sterling was more more connected to the spirit than we could ever imagine. All right, so come by if you feel like it. 12:30 to 2 this Thursday. And until then, everyone, thanks very much. God bless you all, and peace.
Thank you,
Peace.
guys.
Thank you.
Thank you, Audsie. Thanks to everyone who joined. And yeah, Thursday at is at 12:30 Eastern time, and that's the 12th, December 12th. So come on in and be prepared to be amazed. I love you, Rev Wayne.